Alright, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the second installment of the African Psycho podcast. Alright, I bet if you listened to the first episode, you had a lot of on the microphone. I apologize, I'm still figuring out the sound stuff. Not that good of a sound engineer, obviously, but you know what? We can always get better. And if you're here, man, shout out to you. I'm your boy, Dibs Amalisto, aka Dibs Abantweni. I used to be. Not anymore. I'm a better man now. Anyway, it's been a long time coming. This episode has very much long overdue. I was just trying to figure out the best setup to use. Still trying to see what room worked better. I know it's a bit echoey in here. That's why I have the microphone a bit closer to myself. But yeah, welcome to my living room. This is where I be chilling at. I'm on a work break right now, so fun stuff. I was planning on actually going to the gym right now, but I went in the morning because I was like, just get it over and done with. You know what I mean? The things we do to inspire ourselves, not because we actually want to be doing them. But if you're here, welcome to the show. I don't have any guests today, so it's just gonna be you and I. So if you have something to chat it up with me, let's get that parasocial relationship thing going. You know what I'm saying? Things. All right. So I'm gonna first address the elephant in the room. This wasn't part of my preparation and stuff like that. My producer did not include this. I'm my own producer. Cause I'm poor. I don't have anyone to do this for me. Anyway, the Montgomery riverboat fight, that, shit was out of a movie. Like, literally out of a movie. And you know what I like about it? It's like, I know everyone is trying to take it to a racial place. Maybe it just is, but I just love how the internet just collectively, black or white, just mimified, cement, like everyone just had a jubilant, lovely time. I think one of the names that were given to the young men was Aquateron or something. Look, I'm not that creative, okay? That's why I do podcasts. I could be making memes if I had the technique to do so, but here I am, reacting to what everyone else has already done. But yeah, it was kind of fun, and I think it just goes to show, like, at times people just have a lot of pent up energy in them. Fortunately, no one got hurt. Seriously, no weapons were drawn. We just straight old school fight. Using your fisticuffs. None of this gun stuff. Not to get too political or anything, because this is not the episode to do so. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk to you guys first about why I named this podcast The African Psycho. Because of the American Psycho. I've never seen the movie, but you've seen the Sigma male memes. Like, see, I can't even do the face. I just don't get it. I don't know. I'm just super obsessed with such characters who have no feelings and can be like super brutal, like narcissists or like psychopaths. I don't know the technical terms here. I'm not a psychologist, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. So the reason why I named The African Psycho is like I'm trying to get in touch with the side of myself that doesn't feel so much and just kind of like enjoy life and just go through it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at times as people we care too much about things that could be or what might happen or that we never actually do anything. So like in that mental state, I'm just like, who the hell are you trying to start a podcast? I'm like, why not? It's free, ain't it? It doesn't cost that much. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I'll be your designated African Psycho. Hopefully the name is not already taken. If it is, I don't care. Maybe it'll be African Psycho 1, Psycho 2, Psycho 3, or Psycho 69 for all your nasties. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear like the vacuums are going around, just cleaning up in the building and stuff, but hopefully it doesn't disturb this beautiful one-on-one between the two of us or the million of us. I don't know how many of you are there, so probably none, but either way, yeah. One other reason I'm doing the podcast, if you listen to the previous episode, is I'm just trying to be more sociable, just want to be able to talk more, because I realize I spend too much time thinking and doing, but I haven't been talking as much. And I think like talking is a very good strategy. And if you know how to talk, man, it's like you can talk yourself in and out of anything. So gotta practice that skill, because you are definitely gonna need that skill. There's a lot of things that you can do and are super specific to whatever it is that you want to pursue. But talking is that one thing that for sure you will definitely always need to know how to do. So I'm just gonna work on that, just to brush up my speech, just so that I sound less like scatterbrain, because I don't know, something wrong with my head. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk with you guys first of all about this segment of the show where I call it philotech, or like the love of technology, or like the technologies that I love, or like the super interesting software that is installed on my machines, or like one thing I can survive without, blah blah blah. I get it, we all caught up in crypto and GPT, but you know what, sometimes you can appreciate just applications that exist, because they just make your life better. Obviously, I don't want to make a series of like, oh, this is what's on my phone, because then you guys are gonna judge me. And then when I realize no one actually is paying attention and no one actually cares, then I might as well have made that video. But till then. All right. So right now, let's start up with my favorite application right now, and it's the big one, Spotify. Oh my God. Do you know how much I love that application? I don't know, there's just something about it. It's like, it's a fun app. It's on all my devices. I listen to music because everyone does that. But then it's like the convenience of how clutch it can be. The UI, green and black. It's so good that I actually changed the theme of my Windows machine to like that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how influential the app is. And they just introduced the DJ feature right now, like AI DJ. To be honest with you, I'm not that impressed with it. I'm more curious as to see how it better recommends videos. I don't care about the whole UI, the whole speechify. Like, whenever people try to personalize, like personify, or like anthropomorphize, is that a word? I'll put it here if I have the energy to edit this. But yeah, I hate it when people do that. So it's very annoying, and it's the stereotypical smooth individual, or like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna. I'm like, there's a reason why I don't like going out. There's a reason I don't like going out, because I just want to be in peace and just enjoy music as it is. But it is a nice feature, I guess. It's good that they're trying. But yeah, beyond that, come on, Spotify, check it out. What are you doing? Apple Music? Blah. YouTube Music? Blah. The only reason I would do YouTube Music, because I have YouTube Premium, so I usually use it for like things like instrumentals, or like songs that are not officially released yet. Which brings me back to one point that I'm gonna make later on about songs that should exist but they don't, and that's on amapiano. So check out Spotify, man. It's a dope ass app. Like, if I was to ever become a good programmer or developer, I'd want to work at Spotify. Oh, it's always fun when you make yourself laugh. And then the second application, the Arc browser. Oh my God. Oh, the That browser is so good. Such a good browser. Such a good browser. Like if you're like super productive in the zone, like oh, it's such a good browser. I mean, unfortunately, right now it's only available on Macs, and like my Mac is my personal computer, but I work on a Windows machine for work and stuff. So it's like if I had that on that Windows machine, my productivity would be through the roof. I know it's gonna be released to Windows in 2023 December. Why am I saying 2023? Like it's another year. It's this year. Come on. Like, but I just can't wait. It's such a good browser, man. Like, I'll probably attach some links to like proper reviews of the application and stuff like that. And people have been giving it good reviews because I was very suspicious because whenever an application has like test trial beta da, that's okay, that's proper software development tactics. But whenever it gets to like clubhousey, like exclusive club, you gotta be invited to be up in here, what whenever it comes to that point, then I'm always automatically. That's why I was happy that Clubhouse didn't make it, because it was just annoying. It's literally like the minute someone invited me and I was on the platform, I was like, yeah, it's a good concept, but it's not that special. So it's kind of like the hype was built up so high that when the actual product came, which was a good product, but kind of like overpromised. They didn't overpromise anything, but if you leave people to wait long enough, then they start making speculations. So definitely, if you use a Mac, try the Arc browser, make it your personal browser, learn more about it. It has things like workspaces, you can change icons into like emojis, and but it's so interesting because you know why I'm so pressed about this is because I was about to make a video about why Edge is a superior browser. I think I did it as a short or something on my tech YouTube channel, but it's like how Edge, even though it's very corporate-y, but it's kind of like the perfect browser. You know what I mean? Like hate it, don't love it. Big tech is just us bouncing from this one to this one, so it's always like if you're gonna pick your technology daddy, you might as well pick one that works for you. And the Microsoft Edge browser, it's pretty decent. It does what it needs to do. I like the fact that you're on the sidebar, you can have little applications that can just pop up without taking the whole thing. It's kind of like a nice productivity feature. It's cute. See what it's doing. But then the Arc browser just kind of like, it was made to be a browser from like the ground up. It wasn't like an afterthought. Like it's made for like, I'm just getting lost in that browser. It's so fun. Just so fun working in it. So definitely check out the Arc browser if you're on a Mac. They also have an app for the iPhone. You can carry a browser pages with you like you do with like Google Sync and all that stuff. But it's, I don't know, it just feels better. And you can also really customize everything about it, even having different workspaces color coded differently so that you can switch into different modes when you're pretending like, I'm about to, and then you're like, I'm gonna hit it. And all right, sorry, I'm talking to myself, but yeah. So definitely check those apps out. And then the last app for this week would have to be the Workroom app. So the Workroom is like a dance studio around here. So they have an app with all the dances and stuff like that. I haven't taken a class yet there because I'm busy. I've been on this weird I'm up before 4 a.m. thing because I'm just trying to force myself to just wake up that early, because I have realized like if I leave it to the world or like the whims of the day, or like if I just start the day normally and whatever, it's like I always get carried away throughout the day and I have no discipline and stuff like that. But the minute I wake up early in the morning, it's almost as if I'm like prepped up and like, like ready to go. Not like go as in like go, but like whatever the world throws at me, I've already established a solid background for myself. There's this saying like if people work out early in the morning, you do the hardest thing ever, and then everything else in life is just simpler. It's like I could be nervous about I don't know, like something, a presentation I have to do, or like talking to this, whatever it is it might be. But if I knew, like literally 30 minutes earlier, I was deadlifting 4 or 5 and like sweating to the gills and like, ugh. All those fears in context are not as bad, even though it's still the same action, still the same context, still the same. It's just that because I have additional context, it just gives me a better ass. So yeah, but then I'm definitely gonna check out the classes there. I like how they have their material and stuff like that. I'll browse it through, and like if you're into dance and stuff, you should go. The only dance studio I've tried so far in Minneapolis is the Hot House, which was fun. I realized that I don't know how to take dance classes because I never learned how to count like the 5, 6. I don't know what that means. That's literally Greek to me. Like 5, 6. When people say I know one, and all that in my mind is just I never got that. So like my strategy has always been simple. Even when I was part of like dance groups or whatever, we play the song often enough, run through the routine long enough, I'll figure it out. I'll just dance along with people, So, but it's fun, like kind of like putting yourself in a very uncomfortable situation because you tend to learn a lot about yourself. So, all right, let's see what else I had for you, folks. Yeah, and those are the apps that I love this week. Hopefully they stay for more weeks and stuff like that. But who knows, man? Like technology innovators are out here changing the game and creating better and better stuff. So who knows? All right. And now we come to the favorite section on productivity. You want to get stuff done? Gotta be productive. Because there's not enough time in the world. I want to do a lot of things. You want to work and make money. You want to dance because you love it. You want to go to the gym and get really buff. You want to start a podcast so that you can talk better. You also want to be able to create different types of video to explore your creativity. You also want to be able to have time to take walks because I live in Minnesota and it doesn't get that hot all the time. I don't know why it is so fun for me to talk like that. All right, so now let's talk about productivity. So one concept I was learning about, I think it was a Ali Abdal video. I'll attach the link in the description as well. But it was talking about the ideal week. The video was about other productivity hacks and stuff like that. But like the ideal week is the one that stuck out to me because it's like whenever it's very hard setting a goal for yourself because most of us don't even know what it is that we want to do. But I think like if we can at least have an idea of the ideal week, how we want to spend our time, and then see the way we are spending time now and see how we can bridge that gap to close it, then it's kind of like every week, every day, we are living a good life. So obviously you still have goals and things you accomplish throughout there and stuff like that, but it's not like your life doesn't end when a goal is attained. You know what I mean? I think I had that. Like, your life doesn't end when a goal is attained or whatever. But if you just have the perfect week and you just keep believing that, and that can get tweaked as you evolve as an individual. So it was a very good concept and trying to like bridge that gap so that like at least what I can control is what I do. The result at times, I gotta like listen to more Mr. Beast videos about how to game the system, how to make better third names, how to keep retention, blah, blah, blah. Making a podcast probably doesn't do that, especially by yourself, probably doesn't do that. But at the same time, it's like the goal for this is different. And me doing this is me challenging myself in a certain aspect and stuff like that. I'm just growing, I'm doing things like that. So I feel, yeah. So, yeah, the concept of the ideal week is very good, like scheduling everything and like this is the perfect week. And that's everything, not just work related, like grindy. And like, because let's be honest, like a lot of people spend a lot of time grinding for resources, but never actually spend time doing the things that they care about while they have the opportunity to. So if you don't want to regret things, man, just spend time with your family. Do the things you love, enjoy your life, but also still work your ass off, So, and that can be attained if you have a vision of the ideal week you want to do. And then, yeah. I'll share a screenshot of like my ideal week, and then I'll show you exactly what it is that I'm like, what my typical weeks go like, how far off am I? Some weeks I'm like super close and I'm like, oh, what a good week. And then I'm like, do it again because it feels so good. But then, sometimes it doesn't feel so good. So I'm working on making sure like I have an ideal week every week, or else I'll feel very weak. Yeah, and one other thing, another productivity tip for the day I have for you guys, is doing less. Because I feel like as people we do too much. Yeah, just do less. Sometimes it's like, I realize whenever I'm in like that motivation kick, like, this is what I want to do. Go to the gym. Dang. I want to go to the gym after the gym. Dang. Eat big breakfast that I cook myself. Do the dishes. Get on the bus. And all those are all good because when you have the motivation, ride that wave because that's how you build momentum. But we all know motivation doesn't take you anywhere, and sometimes it takes you too far that you overexert yourself and you fail in building actual habits. So like one thing I realized, in order for you to consistently do something, you got to make it a habit and then put it in autopilot. So it's like right now, like I'm focusing just on gym stuff. Do I still dance? Do I still do this? Do I still try this? I'm gonna do all those things, but even though eventually those are the things I want to get to, right now I'm doing less and focusing on this one thing so that each and every single day, week, month that passes, I can always be proud of myself that I committed to this. I committed to it. It took me this far. And that's the favor I can do myself. And one thing I realized too is like whenever I try to do too much, I know it's too much and I know I can do it, but sometimes you just don't have the time or the energy that day. And even though like 3 days prior, I did all those things the exact way I wanted to do them, I just forget all that because I hicked up and slipped up on this one thing for whatever reason. So I realized in order to like actually build on habits every day, like have the base habits. Okay, this is for my health and my aesthetics and strength and whatever, longevity, trying to live long life. All right, this is I have to incorporate. And then what's next? This is for my creativity, blah blah blah, and then I have to incorporate. And then this is my money thing, and this is da 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 da. I have to incorporate, and I have to like be patient with myself to like trust myself when I move on to the next step. It doesn't feel like I'm doing too much. It feels like it's about time, and it feels less like I'm being driven to do something and like forced to do something because I have to, but it's more like it's destined. It's time. You know what I mean? So yeah. Doing less can be a really good thing. And by doing less, it means like the less things you do, you tend to do really well and you learn more about yourself that way. Because I feel like we always think like learning involves doing all things and then you get to know everything. But that just usually just a bunch of information. But true understanding, especially in terms of how you react and interact with the world, is very, very much dependent on like the one thing that you can do consistently and keep getting feedback, learning about the processes. And like the deeper you get into that thing, you start realizing like, oh, different principles of how this operates can be applied to my next endeavor. This is something about me. This is the last time I tried this 3 years ago. It failed because I was this. You start seeing those pressure images because you're just focusing on this back and forth. It's like a meditative like racquetball game or like tennis ball game or like ping pong, whatever, so yeah, do less. And then the third one, small wins are wins. Yeah, this is on my gratitude shit. One thing I told myself is like, people can be better than you in this, blah, do this better and that, but in terms of you being grateful for your own life and just in general, that gratitude can take you a long way. And like it's kind of like when you respect the small wins, it's like you also acknowledge what it took to get there. And as your wins get bigger, you pay attention to like how you're winning, for example. And so yeah, man, small win is a win. A 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 win is a win. All right. And then lastly, there's no honor in failing big. This is actually tied to the previous point. It's like, at times as people, we always want to like go all gun-ho about everything, and then like and then when we suffer, we're like, but I was trying to pick up a mountain. You gotta understand, I mean, like, yeah, failures, you learn and stuff like that, but then I feel like over-exerting ourselves sometimes can become very idiotic. So there's no pride in you failing at that, because you're about to fail to begin with, because you didn't have the strength to execute. It's like you're just expecting the universe will just make you lucky, which sometimes it does happen. But then unfortunately, when people get lucky, then they think that they're actually geniuses and smartasses, and they think they're actually great, and then they fail to realize the amount of, we can have another whole topic about this, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. So there's no honor in big failings or whatever. Just don't overexert yourself. Like, know what it is that you can carry. Obviously, take risk and push yourself, but push yourself by focusing on you growing, as opposed to just one big milestone you're about to attain. Make it about that inner growth, that personal growth. That's what it's always been about. Personal growth. Personal. All right. Yeah, man. And yeah, so I'm glad that you're still here. And then we're gonna move on to my favorite sections. We got the gym section of the Psycho podcast, and then we're gonna talk some music, and then I'm gonna be a tech prophet, because I can be the prophet for the gospel, because I'm not chosen, but technology-wise, I've chosen it. I didn't choose this life; they chose me. No, I'm kidding. All right, and then my next big goal, for myself. Then we can talk about that, and then we'll check in and see how that's going. Right, now let's talk about gym stuff. So I have 3 topics to discuss right now. First of all, talking about staying natty, which is a tough thing to have. Like, I'm getting older, stuff like that, and I felt like I'm also trying to overcompensate for the time wasted, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, what can I do really? Like, because I had like onset gynos like a child, not like a child, but literally pre-PBS. Like, it was ridiculous. So it's like, just imagine what gear would do to me. And we all know you gotta live at least 10 to 15 years before even considering, especially if you're not trying to be competing or anything. Like, what's the point? You're just killing your body for clicks, you know what I'm saying? If you're not trying to go pro or anything. But yeah, so it's a very tricky, interesting topic. So I feel like right now I'm just at a good place whereby I just enjoy my strength gains, and then probably I can tweak and really maximize everything else. My diet is not yet on point. My drinking is not on point. I'm starting to drink more seltzers and stuff like that, and less heavy boozy stuff. So it's a good transition, but we'll see how that goes. So I have to make sure everything else is perfect before. Yeah, I want to reach my plateau, like reach my actual peak, and then maybe I'll consider it. But then if I do, I gotta be competing professionally, or I'm not just gonna do this for fun, because I like a lot of things. So like, not just because I'm doing one thing doesn't mean like it's gonna be everything forever. Like, it's like, no. I always keep my options open in terms of like careers and like any other thing. Like, there's multiple ways you can entertain yourself as an individual, so I usually explore all those multiple ways. So all right, what else do we have? And then also self-love, which is a good thing. It's kind of like the motto of the Anytime Fitness I go to. Yeah, I like going to the gym at like 4 a.m. It's like healthy, like beauty. Comes in all shapes and sizes and stuff like that. And the reason why you're in the gym to get better, so that to fight for your health because you love yourself. Don't just do that because you feel bad or whatever. No. It's for you. It's your goal. It's what you should be going for. So try to do that, man. I'm just gonna say, just try to do that. Just try to do that. And then while on the topic of self-love, man, I hate that this is coming up during my gym section, but the whole Lizzo situation is just actually appalling to me, because the worst thing is when people prophesy themselves to be allies on something, but then still think the same way as like whatever institutional thing is holding them down, and then they're still pieces of shit and stuff like that. So it made me realize one thing too, is that just because someone is a victim of something, or like they're going through something, it doesn't necessarily make them good people. Just because you're suffering, because a lot of people go through shit and take that out on other people. That's why, people that have been abused tend to be abusers, especially, all those kind of things, like breaking the cycle. But yeah, man, it's just so upsetting, especially because there's multiple stories coming and stuff like that. And to a lot of women, having like an idol of like body positivity and all that, which is a good thing to be, but you gotta be that thing. It's like a fucking fake pasta or some shit. But anyway, so as far as the gym goes, my split right now, I'm doing the Arnold split, because I realized the push pull legs doesn't work for me, because I tend to overtrain, and especially in push days, and then really undertrain on pull days. I don't know why. It's just that I can't pull after a while. After a while, like my forearms start heading instead of my buys. Like something else start heading instead of like the actual body part I'm training. So I realized the Arnold split works pretty good. Just training legs, just give them legs. Give your legs some leg room. Oh yeah, so give your legs some leg room, and then I do chest and back. Best combination ever. I think there's one meme that was like, I train chest and back on the same day, just so that when I'm pumped, I feel like she's hugging me again. Because like the whole narrative of like people that go hard in the gym because they're like heartbroken or something. It was pretty funny, because I was already doing that. I was like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, not that I'm laughing at other people's misfortunes, but it's just a hilarious meme. Okay. And then obviously I train like shoulders with arms, which is fun. The only problem I feel like is that my biceps are getting trained to the max, because I always try to do close grip bench on my tricep days, because I just want to get bigger, not just isolation exercises and stuff. Because sometimes there's just like something, like when you do like your kick downs or whatever, they always hit different. When you have like a pump and then you feel like your muscles are getting torn, like that's when you're like, okay, now I'm gymming. But then I feel like I'm like bicep way too much. Maybe you don't see them, but for me it's like it's a lot. All right, so, and then arms and stuff. So I try to always hit biceps first and stuff, just so that when I'm still fresher, and then I just beat myself up, like I said, with like triceps and stuff. But yeah, and then what about cardio? What about it? Oh my god, it's so funny, making myself laugh. All right, now welcome to the music section. Music like you do. All right, I was really excited now that non-essay amapiano is also getting better, because one of the things I was very skeptical of is like whenever a movement comes out and like the rest of the world adopts, people without actual understanding just make like cookie cutter versions of that and like over commercialized, kind of like what happened with hip hop. Like right now people are like, oh, hip hop is done, blah blah blah. Yeah, because it got mass produced by whoever wanted to hop on the trend at that point in time, you know. And it's not like a racial murder. No. Like in general, I mean, it's ironic. Like most white rappers probably give a damn about the game than most up and coming lil whatevers. You know what I mean? Not to get too into it. We can debate more about this, but with the rise of amapiano, man, I was just afraid that it was gonna get stuck, just like whatever. And I know, I mean, at least as it goes out to the world, there's a lot of collaboration and then with different sounds, which makes the sound itself evolve. That's why like artists like Vagudy, I just like his style of amapiano because it's not typical. It's not typical. I mean, there's like good amapiano and whatever. So, you know, kind of like how we in hip hop you have your Drake, J. Cole and Kendrick. In my amapiano, definitely have Kabza. Definitely gotta have Kelvin Mamo. And then Viagra Deep is like just, and he's just a kid, man. That's the thing. And this kid's, man, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm not mad. I know this is the music section, but I'm not mad that I don't make any music, because it's like the music out there is so good and there's so much of it on Spotify but that it's just so fun to be a consumer. You know, you're just literally being entertained. You know, so yeah, I'm just enjoying the ride. And then obviously Mnike is still taking over. I tried to do a dance video to this, but I think it was after shoulders and arms, which was kind of hard to move. So mostly footwork that was at best. I think I'd start being hard on myself, because all this like, oh, it's all good, it's all nice, gotta stop. Probably undoing everything I said, but if you're still here, well, I guess. And the song like Howa You, like the Daliwonga song, I tried to search for that song, it wasn't in any existing song. Like, why do these people do this? And like the same with Daliwonga again. There's a song with Kabza the Small and Nia Pell, like Atlele Ibambumte Oh Manu Belida. I'll put like a link to it. It's like, it's such a good song. Such a good song. But I can add it to my playlist. It's not a song, you know. I only had it because it was on Calvin Momo's balcony mix. That's why, you know, it's kind of like there's so many good songs that we can, you know. Maybe I'm just complaining. As long as I can listen to them, right? Who cares? And then Easy Meal released an album that I missed. I felt bad. But now I'm re-listening to it and stuff like that. I think it was out in February and stuff like that. Which is, I mean, I've been in my amapiano bag, so it's hard to listen to anything hip hop unless it's really shoved down my throat. I only listened to Utopia like 3 times already, and I love Travis Scott stuff, so it's kind of like so much music, so little time, you know. But yeah, bravely check that out. Obviously the up down no down nah, it's like one of my favorite songs. Like I think he did a collaboration with like one of the directors of Jabberwockies or something. So it's kind of like actually, you know, the dancing in there. It's actually like all right. Let me put my dancing nigga head up. All right, none of that. All right, and yeah, speaking of Daliwonga, just want to say, I know there's a lot of vocalists, a lot of entertainers, singers, DJs, blah blah blah. That guy's talented. Like, it's literally my favorite amapiano vocalist, period. Like, above Velo, it's still my favorite song till this day. Like, it was my Spotify rap top play songs. Even today, I'm still bopping to the same song. That's how good that song is to me. Because usually after a few listens, you just like, oh, listen to something better. But shout out to Daliwonga. I just want to put it out there. Shout out. All right. And then also I've been listening to Konka mixtape. Oh, that mixtape, it hits. Hey, when will we be in Konka? Hey, stuck in America. When will we be in Konka? Okay. All right. Enough music stuff, guys. So I'm just gonna play the old Prophet right here. All right. Let's see. All right. So my prediction: Threads will probably go the route of IGTV. Why? Because there's the thing. The reason why we left Twitter is because it's a hellscape. It's the wild. That's the whole point of Twitter. And I don't think Threads can let you do that. Because first of all, you add people you already know. Blah blah. The reason why TikTok took over is because initially you're just making fun content for strangers. Eventually, people you knew, you started following each other, but by then you already built your own TikTok persona and no one cares. But now if you're gonna take the same thing, Threads, it's just like posting like a Facebook status message or something. I mean, obviously I'll use it to see if it helps my platform grow, but I think it's probably going the same route of IGTV, man. And I really thought I was gonna be an IGTV, like, because I couldn't be a YouTuber. Okay, enough that. So I'm and also like this whole X Twitter thing. Like, I hate billionaires. I hate when they try to make everything a personal project and like my identity. Let's call it X. Come on, Elon. Like, focus. Jesus Christ. All right. Good thing none of those apps are my favorite apps. Good thing. And Spotify now has 22 million people. Shout out. I guess the Spotify Rogan deals and all those podcasting deals paid off, even though podcasts are free. I get that. But, if you bring enough people to your platform, it's easy to convert them to cash paying subscribers. So shout out. All right. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And then now my next big goal, long term wise, is just be more sociable and training my social whatever. Because right now my only problem is that I could give two shits. I don't care at all. So hopefully try to be more social and just be a better hang. So thanks for watching this. It's been a great day or whatever. It's been your boy, the African Psycho. Peace out.